Hey everyone, my name is Riley, and in this video, I'm going to show you step by step how you can build a blog on Kajabi. Now, building out a blog is one of the most profitable ways to sell your digital products, as the traffic is completely free, and if you set the right blog posts with the right keywords, you can drive a lot of traffic to your digital products. The best part about this is Kajabi have all of the features that you need to not only sell digital products, but also to build a website and a blog. So in this video, I'm going to take you through the entire process of building out a blog. So even if you are a complete beginner, all you have to do is follow along with this tutorial and you will walk away with a beautiful and professional Kajabi blog. I do also want to make you an offer. So if you are new to Kajabi, rather than going to the website and getting the standard 14-day free trial, I can offer you an extended 30-day free trial by using my partner link in the description. On top of this, if you use my link, I will also give you access to the Holden Academy Elite package, which includes 2 of my courses. One of them will teach you how to use Kajabi. The second will teach you how to go from 0 to 10k per month with digital products. And I will also give you access to my insider community, so you get one-on-one access to me, where you can jump on calls with me and you can ask me any questions that you may have. So a fantastic deal there, and all you have to do to claim this is sign up using my link. Okay, so actually jumping into Kajabi, I'm on a brand new account right here. So I'm starting at the exact same point you are. And to actually create a blog, what we are going to do is go over to website on this left-hand side and click right here, first of all, into design. With blog, we can set this up later. This is essentially where we can create our individual blog posts. But the first thing that we need to do is choose a template for the website. So we just want to click in here to pick template. And then you can see we have all of these different templates that we can choose from in order to build out our blog and our entire Kajabi website. So just choose the one that you think looks the best. In terms of the way that we edit this and the actual control panel, the editor inside of Kajabi, this is going to be the exact same for all of these templates. But from these, the one that I really like the look of is going to be this one right here. So I'm going to select this template and then we can click on get started. Now, this is definitely more for a girls vibe, as we can see right now. But with my blog, this is going to be about digital marketing, selling digital products and things like this. So although this template right now isn't exactly what I want it to be, the core metrics are there, the core basics, the core foundations of this template are there that I can now go in and edit. So the very first thing that we are going to do is go in and customize this homepage right here. So we just click on customize. And this is now going to take us through to the editor. So the biggest thing that we can change in here is, of course, going to be the background. So if we just click into this big space right here for the background, we can then click into background right here, and we can go down and we can replace this background image. So if you want a photo of yourself, you might need to do a photo shoot. Otherwise, if you want like more of a generic image right here, the website that I would recommend to get these images is this website right here called Pexels. All of these images are free. They are royalty free. You can use them commercially. So let's say, for example, I am doing marketing. We could type marketing in right here, and then we have all of these images that we could use. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to upload an image of myself and we can drop this in. And just like that, I now have a new background image on here that fits my website, that fits my brand a lot better. So now what we can do is we can go in here and we can start typing out this text. But before I do this, what I'm noticing is right here, the text is cut off a little bit, right? And this is darker text. So what we might want to do is add a little white overlay here just to make this text more clear. So if we go down, we can see the background color is kind of set to this, almost like a pinkish color, almost like an orange in fact. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this all the way to white, just like that. And then I'm going to bring up the opacity just a little bit so we can see the text a little bit better. Now we might want to play around with this at a later date, but this is just the whole point of the website is we type things out, we see how they look, and then we adjust as we go. So I'm going to say in here, I'm Riley, an affiliate marketer and digital product seller. I'm here to help you build a successful online digital product business. So from here, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to adjust this background again and see if maybe a blue color, more of a blue color is going to work. And we can just bring this down. And there we go. This looks so much better. Awesome. So I'll just do the same up at the top. Let's set this color to white as well. And this is what I mean by you just want to play around with these things. You want to see what colors work, what colors don't work. And we just play around with this until we get something right. Then we can go down to the button. And in here, I'm going to say, check out my blog. We can then change the button color right here to maybe a blue. Let's see if this works. Or if it's too bad against the background. No. So we'll go for a white. And then we can make the text color, this is going to be black. So awesome. We now have this set up right here. So then we go down and we can edit the rest of the page in the same way, right? So we can say my social channels, just like that. And then what we would do is we can go down and we can add in like a YouTube logo. We can go in here, we can add an Instagram logo. We can go in here and add like a Twitter logo. You get the idea. We essentially just go down and we customize the entire website to be how we want it to look. So I'm not going to waste a bunch of time and go over editing all of these individual sections because you already know how to do that now. So we can go ahead and save this. And now we can actually start creating the blog. So if we go back here, we can see we have all of these other pages. So I recommend just going in and you customize these in the exact same way. So we can see this is my course page. This shows all of my courses. So we just go in, edit this background image, edit the text. And then one of these, if I go along, is actually going to be our blog. So it's going to be this page right here. But as we can see, we don't have any blogs to preview because we haven't created any blog posts yet. So to start creating these blog posts, we want to go over to blog on this left-hand side. And right here, it says create your blog, and we can get started with creating our first blog post. So in here, we can now create a page title and description for our blog. So in here, I'm just going to call my blog nice and simple, Holden Academy blog, and then we can write a nice little description about this. So once we have the page title and description, what we want to add in here is kind of like a thumbnail for our blog, right? So we want to go ahead and create this, and the tool that I recommend using for this is going to be Canva. And the reason that I recommend using Canva is because it's super easy to use, you don't need any design experience, and they have a bunch of awesome templates. Now, for Canva, you do really need to be signed up to Canva Pro to get access to all of the templates. But once again, I will hook you up with this with a 30-day free trial. I will leave that in the description so you can sign up, create everything that you need to for your blog, and then you can cancel this before you get charged. So for this image right here, we want to go ahead and create a new design, go to custom size, and then set this to 1280 by 720, just like this. And then we can create a new design. So in here, I'm actually going to type in marketing, or let's actually try digital product. And this is awesome. So in here, I'm going to go ahead and type in Holden Academy. And we can make this bigger and then minimize this down. And then in here, we can say digital products. I'm just going to copy this and bring it down, maybe rotate it the other way slightly and just say blog. Awesome. So we now have this, and then all I'm going to do is remove this image of this random person, and I'm going to upload my own image. So this is the image that I'm going to use. We can remove the background right here, and perfect. I can add myself in right here, and I now have this created. So we can go to download right here, click on download, and this is now going to be downloaded. So we can then go to choose a social image, and we can upload the thumbnail that we just created on Canva. So we can drop this in and click on save. And we are now going to be taken through to this next page. So in here, this is now where we can create our individual blog posts. So we go in and we can create a title, and in here we can write the content. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy this, and then we can paste this into the blog title. We can go back, and I'm then going to paste this as well. And I'm going to paste this into the description. It's a little bit too long, so we can just maybe remove some of it right here. And then what I'm also going to do is, once again, you don't really want to be using ChatGPT for this, but just to show you, creating a blog and how it's going to look, I'm going to say, write me a blog post for this. So in here, I can now go ahead and copy this entire thing, just like that. We have a little bit at the bottom here as well. So we can copy this blog post in, go over here to content, and we can paste this in. And just like that, I now have my blog post. They are also going to ask for a blog image. Very important that we do this. And once again, we are going to use Canva. So in here, we can create a design, 1280 by 720 once again. And in here, the awesome thing about this is we have search templates, right? So I can go in and type in blog. And as you can see, we have all of these awesome images that we can use. So I'm going to use this one, and then we can just customize this and say 10 digital products you can start selling today. So I'm actually in here, I'm going to say 10 digital products, just like this. And then we can say, you can start selling today. So then we can just grab these and we can arrange them in the center of this square. And then the background is perfect, but we could go in and remove this and upload our own image. But I like the way this looks. This is fantastic. And then once we have this saved, we can go to select an image, browse the files, and we can drop this in. Awesome. The last thing that we need to do is just create a page title. So for this, it's asking for 60 characters. So we'll just drop this in right there. And then we can also go ahead and add a URL slug. So what a slug is if you see at the top here, after kajabi.com, this bit that's like a slightly off-white color, this is the slug. And I'm just going to call this 10 digital products, just like that. And then what we can also do is down here in organization, we can add in different tags. And this is how we can group together certain blog posts into different areas. So for this one, we might, for example, call this digital products. And then this is going to have the digital products tab. We can click on save right here. And we might not want to publish this yet. We might want to create a few blog posts before we publish this. But if we now go back to blog, we can see we have our first blog post created. So we can go in and we can preview this right here. We can see how the blog post is going to look. So this looks absolutely fantastic. And that is how you can create the individual blog posts right there. So you just want to go through, continue to create blog posts. And then when you actually want to put these live, you want to publish these, we can go to edit. And then you just make sure this is published. Once you have some blog posts created, there are a few more things that we can do here. One of the big things is going to be changing the font. So for me, if I just actually go into this font doesn't really fit my brand, right? So we would need to go ahead and change this. This is definitely more for kind of like a girls brand, is definitely more of the vibe here. So what we can do is we can go back to design. And if we click into customize up here at the top, we will be taken back to the website customization, right? If we go over to settings right here and then into style guide, you can see we can change like the primary colors of the website. So we'll change this to like a blue color right here. We can change the button background colors. So I will set this to just a white color. And then all of my buttons are going to have black text. And then down here, we can change like the font. So I'm going to go for more of a regular font, maybe something like Montserrat. This is a beautiful font right here. The heading font, once again, I'm going to change this to Montserrat. And then down here, we can go for like the font colors. The heading font is going to be a blue. Body font color, I'm going to change to just like a black color down here. Secondary body font, we can go for maybe a darker blue, something like this. And then for the placeholder, we'll go for white. So that's how you can change like the font and everything on your website. If we just go ahead and save this right here, we can now go back to the blog posts. If I go to blog, and then we actually take a look at this, you will see the design of the entire blog has changed, right? The font has completely changed, and this fits my brand a lot more. So I'm looking at this. If I was actually creating this blog, I'd probably play around with fonts. I don't like this too much, but that's how you can change that right there. And then the final thing that we are going to do is if we just go back to design right here, we can go into the site details and we can set up the SEO and things like this. So we can go down and we can add like a logo and a favicon to the site. So once again, create your logo on Canva. A favicon is like this image right here in the top corner of the tab. So we can upload these. We can change the color palette. You can upload an image of yourself with your name and title. And then down here, I wouldn't really bother about these. These are the main things that we need. So we just set that up and click on save. And with this, we now have a website and a blog created. So that is how you can create a blog on Kajabi. If you found this video valuable, don't forget to smash that like button and tap that subscribe button. And until next time, take it easy.